Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Yes, it's that time of the day. Hannah Zwartz is back in the studio, Kapiti Coast District Council's Green Gardener. Good afternoon, Hannah.
Kia ora, Tanya.
I'm just looking at your notes. There have been casualties.
There have been deaths, yes. It was actually quite a brutal late spring, early summer. November, December, basically, we didn't have rain for 2 months, which is, one of the longest droughts I can remember. And of course, a lot of plants weren't really expecting it because they hadn't, usually you get a spring rain and you can sort of build up your roots, and then a summer drought is easier to handle. But a lot of things have died, I have to say. And, sometimes you do feel a bit sad, but at the same time, the longer I garden, the more I just get a bit ruthless and think, well, if it's going to die, maybe it wasn't in the right place. Maybe it wasn't the right choice of plant. Maybe I can choose something better that will do what I want it to do without needing so much water. Yeah,
so there's a lot to think of with gardening. To me, I think I buy a plant, I dig a hole, I put some water in the hole, I stick the plant in, and I push down around it.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
And walk away.
You really need to know what your soil's doing, whether it's an area, this is all I've learnt from you, whether it's going to be exposed to the wind, whether it's got compatible plants next to it.
Yeah, how big it's going to get, how much shade it's going to need, how much shade it's going to create. That might shade out other plants. So, gardening is an ongoing adventure. It's not like you make your garden fixed and then you never have to do it again.
Yeah.
So, what's died off can sort of be maybe a hint, or, can give you ideas about what will do really well. So, for instance, a garden that I used to look after, even the hebes are dying. It's that dry. And, you think of hebes as being very tough, but there's some things that are doing really well, like the Australian plants, the kangaroo paw, which have a lovely flower. So it's like, well, why not just grow lots of them? And why not grow the things that do well? And, if you've got your heart really set on certain plants like fuchsias or ferns that do need a lot of water, you just have to be a bit clever about where you put them, I think. And, if you can find a place that gets a bit of shade, or maybe that's in a hollow where the water collects, or also just to really build up the soil so it's water retentive, lots of compost and mulch, then you can grow those things. I'm not saying that every garden should be full of cacti and stuff, but it's just about making, good choices.
Exactly, and I think it's an ongoing learning process, like you say, trial and error. Oh well, if your garden's looking a little bit bare and you need some advice, you can always send an email to Hannah Zwartz. Of course, her email address is very easy, greengardener@kapiticoast.govt.nz. Otherwise, you can catch her here again tomorrow about 2:15. Thanks, Hannah.
Kia ora.
106.3 Beach FM.